Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelai Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here today with Kim Holman. Kim, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here.
You're welcome. So tell us, what is it that you do and what do you share at our events?
So I've been a body worker for 30 plus years, and I now offer wellness, empath, and reparenting programs to support people in their life and their relationships. So I noticed that a lot of our physical stress in our body is because of the physical or the mental, emotional, spiritual, and stress that's happening in relationships. And so I really, over the years, really want to help people with that aspect.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, like, how is it that you made the transition and why are these other things so important to you? And maybe
Yeah.
just say a little bit to the journey, like, how did you become a body worker? Like, was it so obvious you wanted to do this work, or how did it emerge for you?
Yeah, so being a body worker, I always was really natural on my break at work or something. I'd go up and massage a friend's back in the break room or something. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so good at this. You know exactly where to go." Well, I got into it, and then years later, I realized I'm an empath. I literally could hear what people were thinking on the table, and I was like, "Oh," and I would change and shift what I was doing because I could hear what they were saying.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, so it sounds like you pick up really a lot about the person, a lot about their wellness and their lack of wellness when you're with them.
Yes, yes. So I would consider myself an extroverted empath because I love being around people. And when I'm around people, um, I can get overwhelmed, and I've had to learn to manage my energy around other people. And so then I started teaching clients, and I kept attracting other empaths. And I'm going, "Oh, well, you have difficulty doing this, try this." And they go, "Oh my gosh, that worked." So I created a 6 week empath course that I'm teaching now. It's going to start in the spring, a live one, but I have a pre-recorded version of it on my website that you can, do at 2 o'clock in the morning if you wanted to. But it really helps the empath or sensitive person recognize patterns and behaviors when somebody else is living or acting from their wounds. So as an empath, we want to help people. But that often creates a codependency. And so the first 6 weeks, I call it the empath basics, really delineates like, where's this energy coming from other people, how to manage it, and tools of how to use it to help yourself and other people, rather than it inundating you and you can't function at a birthday party, or you're down, you go to a public event and you're just down for days processing all this stuff. It's like, how can we do that and make it work?
Yeah, yeah. And I said just being out in the world and going to the grocery store, I know can be overwhelming. And then definitely an event for several hours. Yeah, that would be a lot. Great.
Yes. Yeah. And I also, what came after that empath course when I created it was Meg Judge and I teamed up to do a reparenting empowerment masterclass. And that one's 6 weeks long as well. And this really helps you look at yourself internally, how you were parented, how that's affecting your life now. And I noticed when I had kids, I immediately noticed that how I was parented and the trauma that I had as a child, which was quite extensive, how it was impacting my parenting of my children. And I was literally in counseling. I really been really focused on doing my work for about 30 years, but I had intensive counseling for 24 years. And it really helped me understand where the trauma comes from, how to work with it, working with parts. And yeah, so there's just a lot. And so we created this reparenting empowerment masterclass. But with that, we also have a mini workshop. And the mini workshop is kind of an intro to it, and it's free. So you can get that off of my website, the free mini workshop. And then sometimes we teach it live. So you get all those dates.
Great, great. Yeah, these sound like great resources for people.
Yeah. So the other thing that came out of the reparenting empowerment masterclass, when we were creating it, we taught it, it's like, wait, we need a collaborative, we need where parents can get together once a month And so the first Wednesday of every month in Salem, Oregon, we hold an intentional parenting collaborative. And so we give a little bit of teaching, a short teaching piece, and then we move on to collaborative problem solving. And then this is where they get to bring their challenges, whether they're reparenting themselves or they have little ones at home or adults at home, like young adults, teenagers, whatever. And then we can collaboratively help problem solve things. And then listening. We have at the end of every one, we have a listening part where we just listen so that you can offload whatever you need to offload and just be heard, because we didn't get that as children. And so if we can listen to ourselves, really listen, then we can listen to other people. So it's amazing how it affects everybody's relationship with you, like adults to little ones. So, or internal young ones.
Oh, I feel like a spaciousness opening up in me and deeper breaths in me as I listen to you describe them.
Yeah. One other wellness thing I really love, I'll show you this little balance wheel. So I have this balance wheel that can be downloaded off of my website. And that covers, like, I'm looking at the bigger version of it, wellness for physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative flow, like do you have enough adventure in your life, or joy, life engagement, creative pursuits, and then connection relations, like do you have a good primary relationship? What about relationship with family or social or community? And then life purpose, business and career, contribution and legacy, and then financial income, money management, and freedom and financial peace. Like, it covers all these different topics, and I help people have wellness in all those areas. And the empath course is like, if someone were going to do all my courses, I'd say do the empath course, then the reparenting, and then I do have an extended empath course, but I'm not teaching that until I have enough students to like go through that. So I'm doing the empath basics several times, but then that one really dives deep into really getting some tools to help yourself with the reparenting. Anyway, so the wellness piece is like really, really important for me, because I was always like raising kids way too busy, and nothing was in balance, right? And sometimes it's out of balance, sometimes it's more in balance, and sometimes you got to just put a little focus in one little area. So I have a program to help with that. And the last one, body worker for 30 years. And the reason I'm teaching now is because I realized right away I wanted to teach people how to help themselves. I wanted them to like be able to heal themselves. So this hands-on group, I call it hands-on healing class for the DIY healers. And it's 6 weeks. There's only 6 spots available. So we're only having 6 people per class. And like, if you have a headache, you can hold like, where's the headache? And then your ureters, and there's a couple ways to access that, and it'll drain the pain. Like, how do you heal yourself? And then there's only 6 people because we have 6 weeks. And at the end of each class, one of the participants is going to get on the table, and we're going to hold all the different organs for that one person. So you're going to get a group experience plus learn the hands-on. So
Oh, wow.
I just love teaching people how to help themselves.
And so this is in person. This is an in-person class, and it's
In Salem, Oregon.
Salem?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
I think of people that are far away that want this. They need a version of it online, even though they can't be on the table touching.
Yes, I actually thought about that, and I'm going to go through and teach it this one time, and then I think I'll be able to do a longer version of it, or an online version of it. Yeah.
Great, great. And I
So,
understand you're going to be providing some of these offerings at the MeWe fairs during the year, right?
yes, yes. This year in 2024, I'm going to do several MeWe fairs, mostly Eugene, Portland, and then Ashland. And I want to do some talks. Again, I'm an educator. And one will be energy tools for the empath, and then wellness in all areas of life, all those that I listed off: the family, physical, mental, emotional, and then reparenting yourself. So I'll give a 50-minute talk for those different topics at the different fairs. And,
So
and I think also I'm going to offer in person at the things, consultation, a short consultation, so that you're like, can I work with this person or not, you know? So,
No, that's great. That's great. They sound like great offerings that you're going to have during the year. And, it's a great way of bringing your work to the world and being able to support a lot of people by bringing all these online now.
yeah, yeah, I do appreciate the online.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's see. So if people want to connect more with you, where do they find you online? How do they find all these courses? So yeah, where's your
Oh, yeah.
website? And
So kimholman.com. And I have lots of free tools on there, some of them I mentioned, but all those you can find the dates for everything and how to sign up. And if you have any questions, email me at Kim. Let's see, wait, it's
yeah,
eight.
spell your website too. So spell the whole thing.
Okay, so kimholman.com, Holman. And then 8 Hands Healing is the business name, the number 8handshealing@gmail.com. And so, yeah, if anybody has any questions, they can totally reach out. And I'm going to put it in the chat actually, because it'll pop up for a second. And I'll even put my phone number. Oops, there we go. And that way, so there's the name and phone number, and then 8handshealing@gmail.com. And there's the,
Great. Yeah. So maybe those will show up in here too. I'm
oh
sure.
yeah, they
Great.
might not.
And
So
what was I- and so people can get like the, can you show us a little image again too? The image of
yes,
your
this balance wheel is really fun to download and then fill out, and then it gives you a visual representation of like where you're out of balance. So it's a scale of 1 to 10. I have big versions of it in my office and the different energy layers. And I love educating people and helping them help themselves and know that they're not crazy, and there is tools to help with all kinds of things. So.
no, this is great. I'm so excited for people to experience more of your work, and I'm thinking of people that would really enjoy
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah.
Yeah, great to have you be part of the community.
Thank you.
You're so
Thank you.
welcome. Well, thank you so much. And you can learn about more of all of our events and other practitioners and vendors at mewefairs.com. MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks, Kim.
Yes, you're welcome.